Hello, Missouri! Well, it is good to see you. I know you guys been waiting a little bit here. It's a little warm in here. You're all fanning yourself off. Woo. It is good to see everybody here today. How's everybody doing? I've got a couple of acknowledgments I want to make. First of all, Mayor of St. Charles, Patty York. Where's Patty? Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thanks for the great weather. We also have the St. Charles School District Superintendent, Randy Charles, is here. Where did Randy go? I just saw him. There he is back there. It is great to be here. Great to be back in the Show Me State. Great to be back in St. Charles. Some of you may remember it was from this town that Lewis and Clark began their journey into a harsh and unforgiving landscape. And I can relate. Because the first time I came here, I was trying to get to Washington, D.C. A harsh and unforgiving landscape. A big part of our campaign was about changing the way Washington works. It was about transforming a politics that's driven by cynicism and a 24-hour news cycle and the cable chatter and always focused on the next election instead of the next generation. Our campaign was about meeting the looming challenges in education and in energy, in our healthcare system, in our financial system, that helped bring about the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. And it still threatens our prosperity. It was about making our government actually work for you, the people. A government that lives up to its responsibilities, including the responsibility to live within its means. Now, there's been a lot of discussion about government over the last several months, and let's face it, people have lost faith in government. They had lost faith in government before I ran, and it's been getting worse. You know, President Lincoln said that the legitimate object of government is to do for the people what needs to be done, but which they cannot do at all or do so well by themselves. That pretty much sums up my attitude. You let people do for themselves what they can do for themselves. And then if there's some things that we do better together, we should do them together. And I believe that in everything government does, we've got a special responsibility to be wise stewards about how Americans' hard-earned tax dollars are spent. And I know you agree with that too. Doesn't matter whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, you don't like seeing your money wasted. Or an independent, don't like seeing your money wasted. That's a responsibility that my administration is seeking to fulfill every single day. Over the last year, we've gone through the budget line by line looking for places to trim the fat out of government. And we found a lot of fat to trim, I got to admit. Last year, we pushed Congress to cut nearly $20 billion by streamlining or eliminating more than 120 government programs. This year, we put another $20 billion in cuts on the table, targeting dozens of additional programs that were wasteful or duplicative or, in some cases, just plain ridiculous. For example, we decided not to fund an office maintained by the Department of Education in Paris, France. Now, I'm sure that was nice work if you could get it. But I didn't think that was a real good use of our money. We eliminated a decades-old radio navigation system which cost $35 million a year. And some people might say, well, why did you do that? We need that navigation system. Well, the thing is, we got this thing called GPS now and satellites. So the whole radio navigation thing wasn't working so well. So we've been pushing for cuts on things that we don't need. that government doesn't do so well. And we're also reforming the way government contracts are awarded. Think about this. Between 2002 and 2008, the amount spent annually on government contracts more than doubled to $500 billion. Those are contracts with private contractors. And the amount spent on no-bid contracts jumped by 129%. No-bid contracts. That's an inexcusable waste of your money. So last March, I ordered federal departments to come up with plans to save as much as $40 billion a year in contracting. Now, this brings me to the person standing right over here, the lady in pink. You know, before Claire was your senator, she was your state auditor. She just pinches pennies. I mean, she's just. You think I don't like waste, but Claire, she just every dime she's. So thanks to Claire, we're going to have a new tool to help us meet this goal of eliminating some of these wasteful contracts and no-bid contracts. In the coming weeks, we're going to be rolling out a new online database, which Claire McCaskill proposed and helped pass into law. And we'll be able to see, before any new contract is awarded, whether a company plays by the rules, how well they've performed in the past, did they finish the job on time, did the company provide good value, did the company blow their budget. It's your money, so you deserve to know how it's spent and who these contracts are going to. And that's an example of the kind of service that Claire McCaskill is providing, not just to the people of Missouri, but people all across the country. In every way but one, Claire McCaskill is the new Harry Truman in the United States Senate. One difference is she's a she. But just as the Truman Commission prevented billions of dollars of wasteful spending during the war and saved lives in the process through tough and fair-minded oversight of contracting during World War II, Claire's been a relentless force for rooting out scams and making government more efficient. Harry Truman also said in the Commission's final report that in completing the mission, where necessary, heads must be knocked together. And let me tell you, Claire loves knocking some heads together. She's never been afraid to do that. As we were driving in, I was saying, boy, it's just good to be back in the Midwest. Just about as close as I've been to home in a while. And part of the reason it's just good to be back is because Washington's a place where tax dollars are often treated like monopoly money. They're bartered and traded, and they're divvied up among the lobbyists and the special interests. And where waste, even billions of dollars of waste, is accepted as the price of doing business. When we proposed, by the way, those $20 billion in cuts last year, we were ridiculed by the press, said, that's just a spit in the bucket. Now, I don't know about, here in St. Charles, $20 billion, that's real money, isn't it?
Real money.
That's real money. But Claire doesn't accept business as usual. I don't accept business as usual. You don't accept business as usual. The American people don't accept business as usual, especially when we're facing these enormous long-term deficits that threaten to leave our children with a mountain of debt. Now, this brings me to the primary topic I want to talk about today. Nowhere is reform more needed than when it comes to our health care system. Nowhere. Nowhere. The health care system has billions of dollars that should go to patient care, and they're lost each and every year to fraud, to abuse, to massive subsidies that line the pockets of the insurance industry. Let me just give you one example. This is a long recognized but long tolerated problem called improper payments. That's what they call it. Washington always has a name for these things. There's improper payments. And as is often the case in Washington, the more innocuous the name, the more worried you should be. So these are payments mostly made through Medicare and Medicaid that are sent to the wrong person, sent for the wrong reason, sent in the wrong amount. Sometimes they're innocent errors. Sometimes they're because nobody's bothering to check to see where the money's going, and they're abused by scam artists and fly-by-night operations.